All right, people, it's happening. The Storm Area 51 event is on. This is actually the night before. This is the 19th, and people have already started to show up, and here it is. Rachel, Nevada, UFO enthusiasts began descending on rural Nevada on Thursday, today, near the secret U.S. military installation known as Area 51, long rumored to house government secrets about alien life, with local authorities hoping the visitors were coming in peace. Some residents of Rachel, a remote desert town of 50 people, a short distance from the military base, worried their community might be overwhelmed by unruly crowds, turning out in response to a recent viral social media invitation to storm Area 51, and that was Facebook. The town, about 250 kilometers north of Las Vegas, lacks a grocery store or even a gasoline station. So, people, if you go, bring plenty of gas, plenty of food. Dozens of visitors and water. Dozens of visitors began arriving outside Rachel's only businesses, an extraterrestrial themed motel and restaurant called Little Alien. Okay, they've got a restaurant called the Little Alien. Parking in cars and tents and campers, a fire truck was stationed nearby. One couple, Nicholas Bowen and Kayla McVeigh, both sporting UFO tattoos, traveled to Rachel from Los Angeles suburb of Fullerton with enough food to last them for a week. It's evolved into a peaceful gathering, a sharing of life stories, McVeigh told Reuters, sizing up the crowd. I think you're going to get a group of people that are prepared, respectful, and they know they are getting them, and they know what are getting themselves into. They don't. They really don't. Area 51 was shrouded in secrecy for decades, stoking conspiracy theories that it housed the remnants of a flying saucer and the bodies of its alien crew from the crash of an unidentified flying object in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. The U.S. government did not confirm the base existed until 2013, when it released CIA archives saying the site was used to test the top secret spy planes. All right, as an aside here, I have personally talked to a gentleman that was in the Air Force in the late 40s, early 50s, and he's now deceased, but he confirmed to me that the 1947 crash at Roswell was real. They were real. It was a real alien spacecraft with real bodies, 100% real. Also, if you want to read a book about it, I suggest Colonel Corso's book. Now, Colonel Philip Corso was a World War II hero. He was in military intelligence and was a colonel in the late 50s in the Pentagon, served in the Pentagon. He was given a large container of crashed technology that was harvested from the 1947 craft. This technology was carefully given out to the appropriate United States aerospace companies to reverse engineer. What they did is they looked at the companies that were working on the similar technology. They gave that technology to the companies, and everything just accelerated. Integrated circuits, fiber optics, Kevlar, many things were harvested from the 1947 crash and reverse engineered. And it's real. The book is called The Day After Roswell. The Day After Roswell. I suggest by Colonel Philip Corso. I suggest you get the book and read it. It's worth it. You can get it used on Amazon or eBay, whatever, get a used one. You don't need to get a new book. Or go to the library, just check it out for free and read it. People, don't forget the library. I used to buy books. I stopped. I'm getting old, and I'm just getting books from the library now and reading them. I buy very little books now, but I do like to hold the book in my hand and read it. The electronic stuff is hard to read. All right, let's get back to the story. Area 51 storm, all right? All right, so the documents, however, did not end suspicion about space aliens there. So did they bring aliens there to Area 51? Sure they did. Sure they did. And I think one or two were alive, and they did communicate with them. And that's another book that I'd like to tell you about. It's how they communicated with the aliens. This is a rare book, and it's called Above Black. And it was about a guy that wrote a book from the Air Force, and he was chosen because of his abilities to communicate with the extraterrestrial beings. And he wrote a book about it. Have you heard about it? Probably not. Well, you're hearing about it now. It's called Above Black. I can't remember the guy who wrote it, what his name is, but look for that book. He talks about communicating with that alien that crashed in Area 51. So there's two books right there that prove Roswell was real, okay? And it's all there. It's in Area 51. That's where they do everything. They reverse engineer everything there. And Bob Lazar came forward and told that story on Art Bell many years ago. I suggest you look that up too. Bob Lazar and Art Bell, if you haven't heard his interviews, they're amazing. And John Lear was the one that brought everything forward. Another great guy. John Lear, Bob Lazar, and Art Bell. Three great guys to listen to. All right, back to the story. Storm Area 51. All right. Let's see. Rachel and its surroundings have long celebrated their place in UFO lore as a tourist draw. A road running through the area is dubbed the Extraterrestrial Highway, a purported hotbed of UFO sightings. Okay, another story. I had a friend that his parents were driving through the area, and this is in the 50s, late 50s. An alien craft came zooming in by the car and paced the car. Both him and his mom were, his mother and father were in the car, and they both looked over at the craft. The craft paced them for a while and then shot off. These people were just normal people. They would never make up a story like that. They've never told the story to anyone but my friend, who's my age. They've never told anyone except for him, and he's never told anyone except for me because he doesn't want to get ridiculed. Real story. These people didn't make it up. My own father saw a fleet of UFOs in the very early 60s in Minnesota. A whole fleet of little dots just flying by with no noise, no sound. He saw that in the early 60s. I think I've got one more story for you. One more quick story. A friend of mine had a block party here in Minnesota somewhere. And there was and this is in the 90s, early 90s, and there was a Northwest Airlines pilot that went to this block party. And he was talking to my friend, and my friend was interested in UFOs, and he goes, "Yeah, I've seen one." So he was flying the Northwest Airlines pilot and his co-pilot. This guy was a captain. Were in the plane, Northwest Airlines flight, flying over the Great Lakes. I'm not sure which Great Lake. Saw a UFO ahead of the airplane, went right into the water. Just big craft, went into the water. No splash, nothing. Just went right into the water like nothing. Huge craft. And he looked over at his co-pilot and said, "Did you see that?" His co-pilot said, "No, I didn't see anything." And you didn't either. Because if we have to report this, we're going to lose our jobs, lose our pensions. They're going to put us in the loony bin. So they don't report this stuff because it's just ridiculed. These guys were totally normal men. The top, pilots are one of the most stable mentally people there are. Both of them saw it. Both of them saw it go into the water. It was never reported. You just heard it here. I don't know how many people he's told, but there's just 3 stories. I know I've got a few more, but I can't think of it right now. Back to the Area 51 storm story here. All right, so Rachel, in June, California, college student Maddie Roberts posted a Facebook invitation exhorting the public at large to run into Area 51 on foot to see them aliens. When more than 1 million people expressed interest, the U.S. Air Force admonished curiosity seekers not to breach the gates at the military base, which it said is still used to test combat aircraft and train personnel. All right, so no stopping it. Rachel's then teamed up with Connie West, co-owner of the Little Alien, to plan a music festival in Rachel, dubbed Alien Stock, to entertain the expected crowds. So this thing is on. There's still a lot of people that are going to show up. Now, I've already read today that a lot of people already showed up. They're setting up the Area 51 storm. Originally, there was, last time I looked, there was 2.5 million people going to this thing that said that they were going. So let's take a look here. I'm going to find it. I had it all set up. As of right now, there's 2.5 million people that say they are going, and 1.5 million people say they're interested. Now that's a potential of 3.5 million people that are going to go storm Area 51. Now I can tell you right now, the military has weapons that are classified and unclassified, and one of them that I believe is unclassified is just a big dish, and it sends out a frequency of sound at very high power. And what it does is it makes you lose your bowels and your bladder. Okay, you pee and poop your pants is what happens. So they come out with some vehicles. They set up that are mounted with these big dishes. They put out a frequency. You can't even hear it. It's I can't remember the frequency. I'm not going to say it, but it's less than 100 hertz. All right, and it makes you, at high power, it makes you poop and pee your pants. So if you're running towards Area 51 and you suddenly poop and pee your pants, you're probably going to stop running. So they will stop you, and that's not considered deadly force, of course. I don't know if they've ever done any long-term studies that the frequency hurts you in the long run, but I don't think it will. I think it just makes you go to the bathroom in your pants and you stop running. So they're not going to get very far, and if they get past the gate, they probably will get shot. They've got weapons that conventional and unconventional you don't want to know about. So I don't know, but if enough people go, maybe they won't. I don't know. Who knows? I certainly am not encouraging you to do it. I am not going to say go storm Area 51. I'm going to say no, don't. If you want to all gather peacefully outside and talk and whatever, that's okay. But remember, water and food, and you got to go to the bathroom somewhere. So I don't know how you're going to do that. Now, the Nye County Sheriff's Office is working with local, state, and federal emergency response entities to ensure that all resources are available to protect the community during Storm Area 51. All right, planned for tomorrow. Now, here is the official Nye County Sheriff's Office's
A Facebook event was created several months ago called Storm Area 51, which has received national attention. This event invites people to invade Area 51, a highly classified government facility located in Nevada Test and Training Range, with the intent to commit the crime of trespassing. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is aware of this event and is working with local, state, and federal emergency response entities to ensure that all resources are available to protect the community. As is always the case, the Nye County Sheriff's Office wishes to deter people from breaking the law no matter where you are. However, we would like to make the public, and particularly any person contemplating attending this invasion, aware that the area this event is intending to trespass upon is not a friendly environment for human visitors. There is no water, no amenities, no resources, and the invasion of this location is a crime. This area is home to scorpions, rattlesnakes, badgers, tarantulas, and is generally not an environment suited for human inhabitation. The Nye County Sheriff's Office urges everyone to be aware and stay safe.
All right, so that was the official Nye County announcement on Area 51 storm. They're telling you don't do it. Just don't do it. So that's it. Storm Area 51. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Do you think these people are crazy? Do you think it's funny? Do you think it's not funny? Do you think they're going to get hurt? Do you think a lot of people are going to get hurt by exposure from the elements? I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but Storm Area 51 is on. It's only a few hours away. And please put in the comments what you think and what's going on with this. Also, if you have any UFO stories yourself, go ahead and put them in the comments. Share them with everyone. All right? So we are going to take off here. What are we going to do? We are going to, wow, Area 51. We are going to fly away. All right? Everybody take care. Have a good night.